Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today's episode is sponsored by GWoo Publishing, where they empower authors and publish dreams. There's a link below for a free consultation. Happy holidays. Hey you guys, welcome back to More Problems Than God. And today I am going to show you my method for getting on the right track to getting out of debt. I have gotten myself in and out of debt more times than I can count. And I know you're thinking, well, if you're always in debt, why should we listen to you? Because I've gotten myself out of it. And life happens. So yeah, I get out of debt, something happens, and I have to get back in it. My husband lost his job. I became ill and couldn't work. My daughter dealt with a medical issue that, I had to stop working to deal with that. Just everyday life emergencies, happen that has taken, we've had to use it for our savings accounts. Again, I'm human. Stuff happens, but I got out of it. So with all that being said, let's jump right into it. So a couple things that I find that works for me is you have to know your debt. That means you have to face the problem. You have to go through your credit card statements, look at them. How much do you owe? How much is owed on your house? How much is owed on your car note? How much are you spending on groceries? Y'all, as much as that. Even my water delivery bill it was out of control. It's water. It's every little thing. Clothing, kids stuff, everything. It's like, listen, I have bills, y'all. I have issues. And think about this. The more you spend, the more you want to spend. The more you buy, the more you want to buy. It's a vicious cycle, right? So, we're not perfect. We're not going to pretend to be perfect. But the things that I show you, they're easy, they're everyday, and right at this very moment, I'm going through the same situation. I'm nowhere near as bad off as I was. But I'll give you a little background. My husband and I just moved to a new state. We quit our positions and moved. So while we were waiting to close on this house, we had to live on credit cards. We lived in a hotel. That's when you'll hear me say I was homeless. It wasn't really homeless, but I didn't have a home, right? So that to me is homeless. So that's what we're going to be fixing right now. You're going to see my process, and I'm hoping that you guys can pick up something from me that'll help you along the way. So, you know what? Let's get to it. So let's jump right into some of the tools that I use to keep myself on track. So I use a notebook. I use a food planner, a calculator, of course, and a really good ink pen. Now, I am not above having a glass of wine when I'm budgeting because it helps my nerves. Listen, I'll get it. But this is just water. For today, it's just water anyway. Okay, so again, first things first, you're going to need all of your bills and all of your debt. Also, you need to know how much money you have coming in. Now, I know that sounds silly. Of course I know. But when you put it on paper, do you earn enough to pay off all of your debt and keep your house in order? Those are real problems. So we're going to start with, first things first, putting your earnings on one side of the paper, okay? But the way that I do it, I get paid every 2 weeks. My husband gets paid weekly, okay? So I it's pretty much the same. So I know exactly what that number is. Those are our earnings. So I put that on one side. Now the debt goes on another side. And the way that I do it, and I'll show you this in another video, we're going to have I'm going to just be totally open and show you guys my real life budget, my real life bills, what we're dealing with, and how I'm going to clear all this debt up, okay? So I have each credit card, your everyday household expenses, your electricity, your mortgage or your rent, your car note, your insurance, all of that, okay? You need to know every single thing. All right. So the way that I do mine, I call it the shift method, okay? It's where I have shifted all of my bills to the beginning of the month, okay? So even if I have to pay only minimum payments, okay? I pay all the minimum payments on my credit cards, but for any house bills, any day-to-day bills, I pay off. I don't half pay the phone bill, half pay the light bill. Those are your necessities. They need to be paid, because at the end of the day, you need a roof and you need to be comfortable. Your family needs to be comfortable. Otherwise, what's the point, right? Those things have to be paid first. Everything else can wait. Okay? So, I pay off those bills in full at the beginning of the month, and I pay off the minimum balances of my credit card debt. Wait, before you say anything, just hear me out. The beginning of the month, I pay off all minimum balances. Now guess what? I don't care if it takes me down to $1, okay? Everything's paid off. I'm done. Now at the end of the month, I have my free paycheck at the end of the month. So I do like a rolling method. I choose one credit card to make a large payment. Because guess what? I have my whole paycheck. So say I owe, real life, Wayfair. I owe Wayfair $386, okay? That check comes at the end of the month. I'm paying Wayfair off. Done. Here comes the next month. I do the same thing again. Minimum balances, make sure the day-to-day is taken care of. Next bill, my Citi card. $606. Guess what? Paying that off the end of this month. Now that works for me. If you find that that's a little bit too difficult for you, come back with me. I'll show you what else you can do to make this system work for you. Hey you guys, I know I talked about my rolling or my shifting, I call it the shifting method, where I shift all of my bills to the beginning of the month and then have free money at the end of the month. If you find that your finances does not allow you to do that, of course there's a way to do anything. So what you could do is pay off, again, car note, house, all those things need to be paid off first in full. Don't let those bills dangle. So if you need to split those up between your two paychecks, of course you can do that. But after that, pay the minimum balances and see what you have left over, okay? Now, that's all great and good, but this is the thing. This is the key to this method. You have to stop spending. I know, it's hard, but we have to do it. We have to stop. No extra clothes, no dining out. You have to cook at home, take your lunch. You know, sometimes you just have to say no. If you can't afford to buy your kids something expensive, downsize. I mean, there's a way around anything. I want to say thank you so much for joining me today On my next video, I'm going to go more in detail about my shift method and also how to budget your food on a budget for your families. Until next time, take care and thanks so much for joining me.